Hi friends, welcome to the channel IIB and CIB Made Simple. In this video, we are going to discuss IIBF MSME memory based question which appear on 24th August examination. So I will provide you the detailed explanation of each and every question. I will provide you each and every option explanation so that you can understand what is the basic concept based on which question can be easily solved. So if any question is asked related to that concept, you can easily answer. So let's get started with our first question. The first question is as on your screen. As per the section 16 of the MSME Development Act, if a buyer delayed payment beyond the maximum permissible period, which of the following provision will apply? Option number A, that 30 days payment must be cleared within 30 days, otherwise interest at bank rate is payable. Option B, that payment must be cleared within 45 days, failing which the interest at 3 times the bank rate will with monthly rate is payable. Option C, payment must be cleared within 60 days, failing which simple interest at 2 times the bank rate is payable. And option D, payment must be cleared within 45 days, failing which compound interest at bank rate will be with quarterly rate is payable. So these are the four options. So let's go through each and every option. Option number A. So this look tempting, but it is wrong. Why? Because the law give maximum of how much? 45 days. And what it is saying 30 days. That's why option number A is wrong. Right? So and also the interest is not just at the normal banking rate. Right? So let me give you one example. Let's suppose that bank rate is 6%. Okay. So interest here would not be equal to 6%. Rather, it would be 3 times 6%, which is equal to 18%. Right. And that will be compounded monthly. So month compounding. These are the rules. Please remember it. Right. So I'll look at the option number B. Option number B is saying that payment must be cleared within 45 days. What do you think about this option? Let me explain. So friends, option number B, yes, this one is the correct one. Payment must be cleared within 45 days. Remember, this is the timeline. Failing which the buyer has to pay compound interest at 3 times the bank with monthly rest. So here is the word that is called monthly rest. You know the meaning of monthly rest? Monthly rest means simply interest is calculated every month and then added to the interest on both the original amount and the added interest. This makes it very costly for the buyer if they delay. Let me give you one illustration of how it works. Let's have a look at this particular side. Suppose there is a buyer, right? And this buyer, suppose 1 lakh rupees he owes. Okay. And delay beyond 45 days. So he delay beyond 45 days. So suppose the bank rate is 6%. Okay. So then 3 times. So 3 times will be how much? So 3 times will be 18%, isn't it? And with monthly compounding is monthly. Okay. The penalty interest amount keep rising. That's why the law is strict. To protect the MSME, the law is very strict. So yes, option number B is the correct one. What about C? C says that 60 days with simple interest rate at 2 times the bank rate. This is again wrong. Maximum limit is 45 days, not 60 days. And also it is not simple interest, it is compound interest. Simple interest is lighter, but that make it strict. So option C is wrong. What about D? D says payment must be cleared within 45 days. Filling with compound interest at the bank rate with quarterly rate is applicable. See, this also is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because the law is clear. Interest is not at the bank rate. Here it is saying that interest is at the bank rate. No, it is not at the bank rate, but 3 times the bank rate and is calculated monthly, not quarterly. Right. So what we learned, let's quickly summarize the key point which we have just discussed. Right. So what we have discussed that payment must be made. Payment must be cleared within 45 days. First point. Okay. And if delayed, then there is a section called section number 16 which applies. Okay. And buyer has to pay compound interest and monthly rate at the 3 times the banking rate. Law is designated to protect the MSME. So there is something called MSME Development Act in section 16. If the buyer make to fill payment within this period, right? So the buyer must pay compound interest with monthly rate at 3 times the rate. So that's the penalty that you have to pay. Now let's move to the second question that we have. So the second question is on your screen. So we are going to discuss an important MCQ related to back-ended interest subsidy scheme. So the question is, what is the primary feature of the BEIS? In short, we call it back-ended interest subsidy scheme. In short, we call it BEIS, a scheme for MSME. Right. Option number A, it provides direct capital subsidy of the loan on the loan principal amount to MSME. Option B say it offer an interest subsidy on the term loan. You can see it offer interest subsidy on the term loan paid upfront at the time of loan sanction. Option C say it provide 5% interest subsidy on term loan for up to 5 years, paid at the end of loan period to support technology upgradation. Option number D say it reimburses the full interest paid by MSME on their working capital loan. So very good question. What is the primary feature? So option number A, let's begin with option number A, which says that BEIS provide a direct subsidy on the loan principal. See what it is saying. It provide a direct capital subsidy to the MSME. This is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because BEIS does not touch the principal amount of the loan. Remember that BEIS has nothing to do with the principal amount. Okay. So it only give the subsidy on the interest part. It only give the subsidy, and that too on the interest part. Let me give you one example to make it more clear regarding the BEIS scheme. Right. Let's suppose that you took a loan of 10 lakh rupees. Suppose you took a loan of rupees 10 lakh. Okay. So, BEIS won't reduce that 10 lakh directly. Instead, it reduces the burden of interest that you pay on that loan. Right. So I hope it is clear. What about option B? Option B says that this says that interest subsidy is paid upfront at the loan sanction. This is again wrong. Why it is wrong? Because BEIS is a back-ended subsidy. That means you don't get it immediately or in advance. You get it later after you have served the loan period or installment. That's why it is called back-end. That means you get it later after you have served the loan period or installment. What about option C? It provides 5% interest subsidy on the term loan. This is the correct option. Under BEIS, MSME get a 5% interest subsidy. You can see word written 5% interest subsidy, right, on the term loan for up to how much? For up to 5 years. 5% interest subsidy on term loan up to 5 years. And remember, it is paid at the end, not at the start. The purpose is to support technology upgradation, modernization, and other improvement. Let me give you one example. Suppose that you took a term loan with 12% interest. You took a term loan with 12% interest, right? With BEIS, effectively, you will end up paying only about 7% interest because 5% is subsidized, right? That's why. But you receive that subsidy after the loan period, not right away. I hope it is clear. Now, what about the option number D? That's why it is called back-ended. Option number D says it reimburses the full interest part. See, this is again wrong. BEIS does not apply to working capital loan. That to the working, this does not apply to the, remember, BEIS does not apply to the working capital term loan. It only applies to the term loan. It does not apply to the working capital loan. It only applies to the term loan. Please remember it. Term loan which is meant for long-term investment like upgrading machinery or modernizing the unit. For that only BEIS is provided, not for working capital loan. So what we have talked just now, let me just summarize. So I told you the formula of BEIS. The full form is, back-ended interest subsidy scheme. And remember, 5% subsidy it provide on the term loan. 5% subsidy on term loan, right, up to 5 years and paid after the loan period for modernization and technology upgradation of the MSME. This particular scheme is there. Friends, if you are looking for content, if you are looking for previous year questions or memory based questions which appear in the previous year paper, if you are looking for unit wise MCQs PDF which caters to 2000 plus MCQs, important MCQs, and if you are looking for PDFs, concise notes, you can WhatsApp me on this particular number to get more detail regarding the PDF. Right, I will provide you the detail. We have an app called JIB and CIB Made Simple, whose link is provided in the description section of the video. You can install the app and get access to the course. Many aspirants have cracked the paper in the last examination using our material. Now friends, let's see the next one. Next question is, what does NIC code represent in the context of MSME registration and business classification? Very good question it is. Let's understand. Option number A, says that, a random identification number assigned to the business for tax purpose only. Option B, a unique 5-digit code classifying a business based on its primary economic activity used for MSME registration and policy formulation. Option B, unique 5-digit code classifying business by economic activity. Option C says that code used for export-import licensing. And option D, government issue license number to operate the business. What do you think about, NIC code? So option number A, that is wrong. Why? Because NIC code is not random. So this random word is wrong. You see clearly written here random. No, this random is wrong. Right? It is not, it's not a random and it is not just for tax. It is a systematic classification. Remember, It is systematic classification to show what type of business activity you do. For example, if you're in a bakery, you won't be randomly giving a number or given a number. You will be given a code that identifies bakery or manufacturing activity. Now, what about option number B? So option number B we talk about, this is the correct option. You know, NIC code is a unique 5-digit code. How many codes are there? 5-digit codes are there, clearly written, right? That classify a business based on its main economic activity. So, you know, it is used in MSME registration like Udyam, government policy making, and even a statistical analysis. So for example, suppose there is a manufacturing unit, they are making garment. They will have a different NIC code than a hospital providing healthcare service. So this helps the government know exactly how many MSME are each in sector and what support they need. Right? This is the unique feature of the NIC code. Yes, this is the correct one. What about C? A code used only for export-import licensing and has no role in MSME registration. This is wrong. Yes, NIC code may appear in some export-import paperwork, but you know, they are using the much bigger, which is MSME registration, which is called GST registration, right? They are also using, you know, overall business classification. So it is not limited to just export and import. What about option D? A government issues license number for operating any kind of business in India. What about option D? Option number D says that, you know, a government issue license number. See, this is wrong. An IC code is not a license. For license, you may need GST registration, right? FSSI for food or shop and establishment license. An IC code is only for classification. Just remember the keyword. An IC is for classification, not for permission. So what we have discussed, what is the full form of NIC? National Industrial Classification, right? Full form is itself say classification. It is a government license number to operate a business. This is wrong. NIC stands for National Industrial Classification. Unique 5-digit code. Please remember the keyword. Right. It usually uses a unique 5-digit code. Right. And you know, it identifies your business activity. So I hope it is clear this particular example. Right. And mandatory for MSME registration in form of Udyam, and also using GST, company incorporation, statistics and policies. Now friends, let's look at the next question. This is regarding the SFURTI scheme, right? So the question is asking you, their full form you must remember it, the scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industry. So it covers the 3 types of intervention to support traditional industry. Which are the following correctly describe these intervention? Option number A say soft intervention, hard intervention, thematic intervention. Option B, soft intervention, hard intervention, thematic intervention. Right, and inside soft intervention also you can see some example, skill development, hard intervention, CFC, thematic intervention, brand building, e-commerce. Similarly, option B is there. Similarly, option C is there, option D is there. So which option do you think is correct? So let's move through option each and every one by one. First of all, option number A. It says that, so you know what is the meaning of this soft intervention? Soft intervention means, you know, these are the non-physical support activity. Non-physical support activities, right? Like training, skill development, awareness, program, exposure visit, and, you know, product design. Then we have, you know, hard intervention. After soft intervention, we have the hard intervention, which means, you know, these involve infrastructure like common facility center. CFC, you know, what is the CFC? Common facility center, raw material bank, warehouse, and better machinery. And the third we have is called thematic intervention. So which means these work at a broader level like brand building, marketing, company, e-commerce, etc. So let's summarize the key point. So for example, suppose there is a cluster of handloom weaver. Let me give you one example to make this concept clear regarding the SFURTI. So suppose there is a cluster of handloom weaver. So there is a cluster of, you know, handloom weaver. Now what happened? That in the case of soft intervention, training them in new weaving technology. That is called, you know, soft intervention. What a definition I told you, that these are non-physical support activity, right? Like soft intervention could be training them. This is the soft intervention, right? Now, training them in new weaving technology. What could be the hard intervention? What could be the hard intervention? It could be, setting up a common dyeing, and finishing unit. That is called, hard intervention. And finally, we have thematic intervention. What is thematic intervention? Selling their sari online through e-commerce platform with better branding. Right. So I hope it talks about the direct tax exemptions, and subsidies on tax material. I hope it is clear till now. So remember what we learned from this discussion is that we talked about the SFURTI scheme. So okay, which option do you think is correct? What about A? A if we talk about, right? So I have given you one example. That is exactly how SFURTI works. Yes, this is the correct one. A is the correct one, right? Because soft intervention are non-physical activity like skill development training. Hard intervention are infrastructure like common facility center, raw material, bank, warehouse, etc. And thematic intervention work at the broader level like brand building, marketing campaign, e-commerce support. Right. Suppose there is a cluster of handloom weaver. So soft intervention is training them. I think I have given you example. Okay. Now that is directly how SFURTI works. Option A is correct. What about option B? Option B is wrong because SFURTI is not about giving direct money or tax exemption. It's about training, infrastructure, and marketing support. 3 words you must remember. The first word in training, second word is marketing, and third word is thematic support. These are the points. What about option C? Option C again wrong because SFURTI is not a loan or a subsidy scheme. It is more about being clustered development. Now let's see the next question. This question was related to the SFURTI, right? I hope every point related to SFURTI is clear. Now the next question that we have is regarding the NSIC. So just remember, SFURTI stands for Scheme for Regeneration of Traditional Industry, right? So basically 3 intervention I told you. Let me just remind you because these are very important things. So what are the 3 intervention? Just remember the keyword. Soft means skill training. Soft means what? Skill training, awareness, and exposure. Soft means skill training, awareness, exposure. Hard means what? Hard means CFC. Hard means warehouse. Hard means infrastructure. And finally, thematic. What is the meaning of thematic? Thematic means branding, right? Marketing and e-commerce. Just remember these words. That will help you to remember this SFURTI scheme clearly. So friends, just remember SFURTI as a 3-step process. In the first step, we train. Just remember it. In the first step, we train. In the second step, we build. And in the third step, we market. Like soft is training, hard is building, and thematic is marketing. Just 3 words: train, build, market. See, not only I am just going through the MCQs. I am just telling you the trick to remember these things. This will help you to build your concept. So soft train, hard build, and thunder, and last is the thematic means marketing. So train people with a skill, build infrastructure, and market that product through the branding and e-commerce. That is the entire scheme in nutshell. If you found the explanation useful, do like, share, and subscribe for more such exam related content. Now we have content available for all your certification examination. Now friends, let's see the next one. This question pertains to NSIC, National Small Industry Corporation. So which of the following correctly describe the main feature of the NSIC to support MSME? So option number A say capital subsidies and tax exemptions and regulating export licensing. Option number B say that machinery hire purchase, equipment leasing, export marketing assistance, bulk government purchase, etc. etc. Option C say issuing license and giving equity funding to a startup. And option D say NSIC acting as a financial institution giving consistent loan and insurance. So option number A, let's begin with option number A. It says that NSIC provide capital subsidy, tax exemption. This is completely wrong. Why? Because NSIC does not provide tax exemption or control export license. Its role is more about support service. One word if I say, its role is about support service. Okay. Then the giving subsidies. What about B? Yes, B is the correct one. The NSIC provide integrated support service. This is the keyword. Please remember it. They provide integrated support service, right? Like machinery on hire purchasing or leasing, export market assistance, helping MSME participate in bulk government purchase program, distribution of essential raw material, technology upgradation and modernization, industrial training through technical center, even helping to set up a small industry in the developed country. Right. Let me give you one example to make it more clear how NSIC help. Imagine there is a small manufacturing unit, right, that cannot afford to buy new machine outright. So basically what will happen? This particular NSIC will give that machinery on hire purchase or lease basis. So this small manufacturing unit cannot afford to buy this machinery. So this NSIC will give machinery to this small manufacturing unit on lease purchase or hire purchase basis, lease or hire purchase basis. Similarly, if that unit want to export its product, NSIC can help them with the marketing support and participation in the government tender. I hope it helped you understand the basic concept. Now let's see option number C, which says that NSIC issue license for a small scale industry and fund startup with equity. What do you think? This is wrong. This is completely wrong. Just wait a minute. This is wrong. Why? Because because business license are issued by other authority, not NSIC. And NSIC does not directly give equity funding like an investor. What about option D? This says NSIC merely provide concessional loan and insurance. This is again wrong because NSIC is not bank or financial institution. Its role is broader: promotion, training, support, service, rather than just giving loan. So let me summarize the key point. NSIC full form, remember, National Small Industry Corporation. It is a Government of India enterprise under the Ministry of MSME. It provides machinery hire purchase service, export marketing support, government purchase program participation, raw material supply, technology upgradation. So friend, just remember, NSIC is an all-round supporter of MSME, giving them machine, marketing, training, global exposure. It's like a one-stop solution for the small industry. I hope it helped you understand the basic concept. Now friends, let's switch our focus to the next question that we have. Complete explanation is there for each and every question. Similarly, such kind of previous year question I have already uploaded. 3 to 4 PDF are there. Complete detailed explanation of each and every option. Why one option is wrong, why one option is right. If you want to get detail, you can WhatsApp me on this particular number to get the paid course. Now let's say that one numerical question which was asked in the recent examination. Let's have a look. So the question was right, ABC Limited has the following balance as on 31st March 2025. What is the balance? Let's have a look. Capital they have 8 lakh. Reserve they have 2,50,000. Intangible asset like goodwill and patent they were having 1,20,000. The question was asked to find the tangible net worth. This is called T and W. Very good question. 4 options are given. First of all, I request you to pause the video right now. Try it on your own and then see the explanation. So first of all, we will calculate step by step. The first step to calculate net worth, tangible net worth, is to calculate the net worth. How to go about calculating the net worth? It's very simple. Net worth include capital and net worth includes the reserves. Capital plus reserves. How much is the capital we have? Let's have a look. 8 lakh is the capital. Plus reserves. 2,50,000 is the reserves. If you add both of them, this will give you 10,50,000. So this is the net worth, right? This 10,50,000 is the net worth. Is it clear? Now, when we talk about tangible net worth, what we will do is nothing but it is called T and W. T and W is equal to net worth minus intangible asset. Net worth minus intangible asset. Now let's do the calculation part. So what is the net worth? Basically, why we are subtracting? Because intangible asset like goodwill, patent, they don't have real physical value. In case of liquidation, so they don't consider tangible. They are not considered tangible. So what is our net worth? Net worth is 10,50,000 and already they have provided you intangible asset is 1,20,000. If we subtract them, we will get 9,30,000. This is our answer. So option number A is the correct one, right? So friends, just remember two formula. The first formula is net worth is equal to capital plus reserve. Second one is tangible net worth is equal to net worth minus intangible asset. So remembering these two formula will help you, right? Just remember. So you can combine both of them. You can just combine both of them. T and W is equal to capital plus reserve minus intangible. No need to calculate separately. Just add capital and reserve and then subtract the intangible. That will give you the tangible net worth. I hope it is clear now. Friends, let's switch our focus to the next question that we have. Let's understand. So basically the question is, which of the following statement best summarize the process and objective of the CAP? What is CAP full form? You must know. Corrective Action Plan, right? For a stress enterprise as per the committee framework. Options are the CAP committee only accept application from the enterprise and must finalize the plan within 5 days. Option B say once a bank or lender requests a CAP, the committee notifies the enterprise within 5 working days and they must submit all liability detail. Option C, under CAP, the enterprise cannot use any further credit and must immediately cease business operation until a plan is finalized. Option D, only secure creditor can be utilized by the enterprise while awaiting the committee's decision on CAP? Very good question it is. Let's understand each and every aspect of it. So first of all, let me just explain what is this CAP all about, right? So basically, what is this CAP? This is called Corrective Action Plan. So basically, it aims to resolve the financial stress. What is the aim of it? To resolving the financial stress, right? Preserve the asset value. Preserve the asset value and allow the enterprise to continue operation. It allows the enterprise to continue operation. So whenever a bank or lender apply, the committee must inform the enterprise within 5 working days. So suppose this is the bank, right? So bank has applied. So what committee should do? So suppose this is the committee. They must inform within how many days? 5 WD, means 5 working days they have to inform. The enterprise is required to submit all the details of all the liability, including those toward the government and unsecured creditor. So submission must be done within the 15 days, right? And if the enterprise failed to respond, the committee can proceed ex parte. You know what is the meaning of ex parte? Ex parte means, can proceed ex parte without this participation. Ex parte means committee can proceed without its participation. Importantly, during the process, the enterprise can continue to use both secured as well as unsecured credit. So they can use both of them, secured as well as unsecured credit, right? So if you look at the option number A, which says that it only accept application from the enterprise, we must be penalized. No. That is wrong, right? They mistake the timeline because it says 5 days. There's nothing like 5 days, right? 5 working days to be more precise. Yes, B is the correct one. Right? Once a bank lend or request CAP, the committee notice an enterprise within 5 working days. The enterprise must submit all liability detail within 15 days and committee decide on a feasible revival plan. If the enterprise does not respond, the process may expire ex parte. What about C? It says that the enterprise cannot use any further credit. No. This is wrong. Option number D says that only secured credit. No. Both kind of secured and unsecured credit can be used. So this is a detailed explanation, as you can see. For full form is Committee Corrective Action Plan, designed to resolve financial stress by providing a workable solution that preserves the asset value. Whenever bank and lender will apply, the committee must inform the enterprise within 5 working days. An enterprise is required to submit detail of all the liability within 15 working days. If there is no response from the enterprise, committee may proceed ex parte. During the CAP process, enterprise can utilize both secured and unsecured credit for business operation until a decision is made. Now, very good question it is. The next question that we have, it asks you that, which of the following is not a correct eligibility criteria for availing the PMEGP second loan scheme? So there is a first loan scheme which we have talked earlier in our previous session. Now we are dealing with the second loan scheme. Option A, the unit first loan under PMEGP or Mudra must have been repaid within the stipulated time. Option B, the beneficiary unit should have been making a profit for the last 3 years. Option C, the beneficiary can only apply for the second loan from the same bank that provided the first loan. Option C, registration of Udyog Aadhar memorandum is mandatory for availing the second loan under PMEGP. Now friends, let's see the correct one. Which option do you think is correct? Let me explain. What is PMEGP second loan scheme? Basically, under this scheme, what happened? Let me use the different color. That unit financed earlier under PMEGP Mudra. Suppose some unit was financed under PMEGP or some unit was financed under the Mudra, right? That particular units, right, where margin money claim has been adjusted and the first loan repaid on time, they are eligible, right? And the enterprise must be profit making for the last 3 years. This is the condition. They must be the profit making enterprise for last 3 years. And UAM, what is UAM? Udyog Aadhar memorandum is mandatory. And the second loan can be taken either from the same bank or from any other willing bank, right? Now let's see the option that we have. So the option that we have, option number A, that should have making the profit for the last 3 years. Yes, this is the correct one, right? For last 3 years. And the question is not eligible criteria. Clearly written not. You have to find the not. What about one? The unit first loan under the PMEGP or Mudra must have been repaid within the stipulated time. What do you think about option number A? Yes, this is also correct one. What about C? The beneficiary can only apply for a second loan. No. Not only for same bank. It can also take from the other bank, right? So basically unit which is financed earlier under PMEGP or Mudra, where margin money claim has been adjusted and first loan repaid on time, they are only eligible who have repaid the first loan on time. What about D? So UM is mandatory for the availing the second loan. So remember that these 3 criteria, all existing unit financed under PMEGP Mudra whose margin money claim has been adjusted, first loan has been repaid on time, they are eligible. The unit must be profit making for the 3 year to qualify for loan. Registration of UM is mandatory. Right, these are the points. Please remember it, super important. Now friends, let's look at the last question of today's session. This question is about NSDM. Very good question. Which of the following statement correctly describe the key objective and institutional structure of the National Skill Development Mission? Option A. NSDM aims to rapidly speed up skill. Right. It aims to rapidly speed up skill development effort by creating an outcome-focused framework, aligning employer demand with the citizen aspiration tool, and includes establishing a national database, labor market system, LMIS. B. An NSDM focus only on providing skill training for IT sector job, and its governance is restricted to a single committee under Ministry of Education. Option C. NSDM provide direct finance assistance and subsidies to industry for infrastructure development and has no role in setting a skill standard. Option D. It operates solely at the state level without any central coordination or national level institutional framework. Now let's go through each and every option. Very important question. So in simple word, you know what is NSDM? It is about giving a skill to the people. Remember the keyword. Let me write down. It is about, giving a skill to whom? To the people. Right. In such a way that when they learn what they learn actually matches what the company require. For example, if IT company need more cyber security professional, so NSDM try to ensure that training courses are designed to prepare such candidates. Right. Yes. So that is a training course. And one more thing that is very important here, that's called LMIS. That is called, labor, market, industry, information system, LMIS. So it also has an LMIS, like a big national database, which tells us what skills are in demand and how many skilled workers are available. This is called LMIS. And this institutional setup, it has 3-tier structure. It has a 3-tier structure. What is the 3-tier structure? The first one is the governing council, which is headed by the Prime Minister. Who is the second one? Steering committee. Let me write down. Second one is the steering committee. Right. And third one is the executive mission directorate. Sometimes, in the next exams question may be asked. So how many tiers are there? 3-tier institutional framework are there. Right. Governing council, steering committee, prime executive mission directorate. This shows that it's not just one ministry, but a coordinated national level mission. Right. What about option B? So option number A is correct. Option B says that it focuses only on providing a skill training. It is wrong because NSDM is not just for IT job. Remember, it says that only for IT job. No, that's wrong. It is for all the sectors like manufacturing, healthcare, construction, retail, tourism, etc. And it is not run by one ministry but coordinated across multiple ministry and state governments. That's why it is wrong. What about C? C is also wrong, right? Because NSDM is not about just giving money to the industry. Its real job is about setting standards for skill, training people, making sure that different ministry and state work together. For example, sometimes, NSDM, they work with NSDC. NSDM, right, they work with NSDA. What is NSDA? National Skill Development Agency, to create a standardized training module. So this statement is misleading. What about option number D? Option number D is also wrong because the whole idea of NSDM is to have a national framework. Right? The Prime Minister himself heads the governing council. This shows it is centrally coordinated. Yes, states are partner, but there is a strong national level planning. So what we have, before we close the session, let's quickly summarize. I told you about NSDM. So what is NSDM? National Skill Development Mission, to match people's skill with the industry demand, creating job and improving the livelihood. We talked about the LMIS. What is LMIS? LMIS stands for, basically this is the database, right? National database, where is the national labor marketing demand to track demand and supply of skill. And institutional structure we talked about, basically it has a governing council headed by the Prime Minister, steering committee, and an executive mission directorate supported by the NSDA, NSDC, and DGT. Right? They cover all the sector, not just IT sector. They work on skill standard, training quality, and coordination. Friends, we have multiple questions available right now. If you want me to explain all of them, please write yes in the chat box. I will bring the part 2 video also as soon as possible. If I get more yes, more confirmation from your side, I will bring the part 2 video also. And for any kind of study material, please WhatsApp me on this part.